to be here. So I have a terrible panic of flying, and so I was on the plane yesterday and I was like, I gotta go home, I gotta get off this plane. And then I just thought of all the beautiful poets, the friends that I would see, and the loves, and y'all made it so worth it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is from my first book, Landscape with Headless Mama, and this kind of scared my kids, you know? Headless Mama, what? Karaoke night at the asylum. When I was 11, Mama sang karaoke at the asylum. For family night, she'd chosen Billie Holiday, and while she sang, my brother, a fretted possum, clung to me near the punch bowl. I remember her then, already coffin-legged, mustard grease on her plain dress, the cattails of her hair thwopping along with the beat. The balding headstones of the others, quarantined from their own mothers and sisters and daughters. I wondered if they, like us, were strange alloys of sadness and forgetting the words to the songs. I was a grave digger then, a rat fleeing ship. Mama, who hadn't sung to me since I was a baby and never would again, was the linchpin. I'm still turning and turning the screw. So this one's called Chicken Hearted, and I call it my only successful sestina. And in a room full of loves, I know you'll understand what that means, that it's the only successful sestina. Listen for those 6 words. It's time you learn to scrub a chicken. Mama rarely cooked after working all day, her heart wasn't in it. But a daughter should know how to sterilize that pink, ominous cavern before she flew away to salt her own kitchens, pry its legs apart and reach inside to scoop as if that bird were pregnant. When I moved out that winter, pregnant and fat like nobody's business, but still too chicken to tell Mama, I took up with a boy who tore apart our piss-cold apartment looking for the piece of his heart he swore I'd eaten. He claimed it flew into my belly, and before I gave it back, I'd need to sterilize it. So I ran around that goddamn flat with wipes to sterilize every counter and crevice. Not only was I pregnant and compulsive, but news had spread that flu had reached pandemic level, this time from swine, not chickens. I'd read that pregnant women were more susceptible to heart failure. I figured that also meant the throbbing pink part in my belly. I never studied anatomy apart from an odd encounter with a college boy who tried to sterilize my body with his tongue. It didn't work, but left heart-shaped scars along my chest and thighs, each mark pregnant with blood, a strawberry patch or the red wattle of a chicken. I'd begun to waddle around in baggy sweats a few weeks in seeing Mama. She'd suspected the more than a few pounds I'd gained, flinging accusations, shredding me apart for acting the slut I was. I'd heard it before. She'd squawk her chicken shrills until I broke down. She'd peck at me to sterilize my body like the kitchen, like the chicken, like my own pink pregnant bellyache. She'd have me scoop out my own heart to make a point. But I don't think I could live without a heart. I lived without anyone but Mama since the summer we flew away over the Grand Canyon, away from Dad. Mama was pregnant then. That didn't last long. I was 11 when she clawed apart the bathroom, knocked the kitchen, scrubbing the tub to sterilize it for a bath. I'd guessed, I'd have asked, but was too chicken. The trick was to keep apart from her long enough for my heart to sterilize itself and keep that pink baby from cleansers or flu or Mama's broken chicken heart. The trick was to stay pregnant. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll do one more from Landscape with Headless Mama. So this one's called Desert Duende. Loaded, she says, loaded but locked. She doesn't wonder at the cage, the click, the barrel. Stop, unhinged. She is spark exhausted. She barricades, mines the spine, heart, cacti bleeds. No one explains when to die. No one has to. Nature of thirst. Instinct, blinking back, extinction near the brink, always. The brick, the oven, near loaded, not shot. The rain's meant to come. She wanders, pecking livers, mouth washing dust, speckling silt, entrails rattle, bullhorns, bullets, bullshit, unloaded sand skirt. She kicks herself. Bricks come later and fast. She never held a gun. She glistens, metal sun spit, cacti rungs. She tugs, triggers, ignites. So I published this, and this is just like the serendipitous year, a decade of hard work, and this one was published in September. And then I got a call from Yonkers, New York. Oh, I don't know when Yonkers, New York. I didn't answer it. And then on the second call, my husband answered and said, he took a message from me. He's like, who is this? She'll call you back. Okay, Billy Collins? Oh. And my second book was chosen for the University of Arkansas Press, Miller Williams, and I was like, I'm here. So this one deals with my biracial family's, just some experiences that we've had. And so, you know what, it doesn't need an explanation. I'll just read it. The glance. Through window, through curtains wide, through singing after shower, through racial lines and statutory laws, through landscape pebbles off the complex path, through morning's rituals before the sun could rise, through glass pane while I dreamt in our bed while our plump brown baby slept in his slatted crib, through slanted white light, through window on your way to work. You heard a song, you heard a sweet song and turned your head toward the naked girl. When the police knocked on our door. When the police came to our door. Let me rephrase that. When the police. They claimed you climbed on a rock. They claimed it was a shower, the white girl's white mother. They claimed the window was the showers, and the window 8 feet high. They claimed you carried ladders or were made of stilts or could form pebbles into whole rocks for climbing. They made signs they posted on our door. They made signs for better watch our backs. They made signs for night watch, for on guard, for dark man with afro. After we'd moved away, after we'd hired a lawyer and the case was dropped for lack of evidence, after there was no rock, after we claimed the jagged edges of any safe space we could in Koreatown, where I daily pushed our baby stroller through the apartment's garden with koi ponds past doorways that smelled of boiled fish, and our baby learned to name the things he saw. Nice tree. The oak with gall, the spindle wasp gall that leaves had formed like scar tissue around the wound, where insect larvae were eating their way through the window of a neighbor's home. I looked up and watched a round man from the shower letting towels slip. I couldn't look away from this strange, intoxicating body in front of me. We know nothing happened after that. I took our boy home. I cooked us all dinner. We shut the blinds. Thank you so much. I'll end on this one. It's called The Cheerleaders. And I was at a writers' conference where there was another conference going on, a cheerleaders conference. And all the poets there were poking fun, and just teasing the cheerleaders, calling them all kinds of names. And someone said, if you haven't written your cheerleader poem yet, they're good for many things. So I wrote mine. The cheerleaders. I want to defend the cheerleaders to those who've said it was anti-feminist here at the mountain camp in the Sierra Nevadas among the Jeffrey pine with its bark that smells of vanilla and the same Bailey's Irish cream I first tasted in high school at a party. These girls are rural and white, too young for sex to be sexualized, bright pink blooming bows in their hair, tightly coiled with immaculate white woven through their chanting as if in ecstasy, everything here among the white flowered cat paws that that lay close to the ground each cold summer night, then rise toward the sun come noon. These cheerleaders shout for themselves, for the boys, but at home, for the team, for the moon, the way I was a cheerleader in the southwestern desert, 20 minutes from the Mexicali border in the egg-frying summer heat. And my boyfriend, after spooning me all day in the guest bed at his nana's, would drive me to practice. I'd fit my thick thighs into lycra tight shorts, pull taut my dark hair, and bother anyway with bronze CoverGirl foundation and glittered purple eyeliner, though I'd sweat it all off in an hour of basing basket tosses, of being the one to lift another girl freer than me, the one who kept flying girls from falling to packed earth, scorched dirt below our white and silver gel-inspired Asics training shoes with flexible soles for dancing. But one girl flew to the left of our interlocked crisscross arm basket, and we couldn't catch her before she landed on her side, on her chest, palms down, but she didn't break any bone, or the baby we found 3 weeks later sprouting like a flower beneath her bruised ribcage. I want to defend these girls in the tall grass with their backs to the lake, with their black and red skirts like fringed ballet tutus or costume burlesque, their cheer faces like masks I'd put on in practice when my mother asked why I was moody and what were the bruises purpling my arms, my hips, my thighs. What's not feminist about this, how the sport could send us, most of whom had never been on a plane since there was no airport in our town besides barns for crop dusters, to New York City. It's not recklessness or drunkenness, but the culture, its lack of options, how I wanted to dance where there were no dance schools, where the only art was sprayed on the bellies of walls, where resistance meant disobeying our parents, meant breaking curfew, meant bonfires in barrels, meant sex between sweet-smelling stacks of alfalfa beside hay bales, beside ditch water. I want to defend these cheerleaders in their sassy and hopeful, irreverent poses, how Nietzsche says metaphor is desire to be somewhere else, how the cheerleaders are likewise. The pouty lips they taught us openly mocked. The meanest of us, the toughest, the loudest to cheer, remind me still of the pine cones that'll stay closed with pitch until hit with fire, then open, that need damage. Some seeds need a bit of abuse before they can germinate, like forest freeze, like fire, an animal's gut. These the rottenest cones of the lodgepole pine give of themselves to be hurt, like the cheerleaders of my girlhood, of the go, of the big blue. They aren't thinking of this or anything as they lift toward the sky and take root. Thank you.